Yeah. So wait a minute. You caught me with granola in my mouth. But anyway, the conversation rolled into the puppeteers pulling billion-dollar strings, feeding us distractions to keep us from noticing we're dancing to their tune. Political drama, the spread of misinformation by, let's face it, the misinformed, and the media's arrogance keeps us entertained, while the real war, like the one against women's rights, rages on in the background. We're so far removed from the social contract. The question, I think the real question should be, did we sign it in invisible ink? I can drink to that.
Oh no, we're good. So we're gonna do something new today, all right? So, well, this is a good experiment. Since Chuck ain't here, we can make sure it's working or not. So, I'm gonna ask you some questions, but the questions are not gonna be about each topic. All of the topics are in play for you to use as an answer to answer the questions I'm gonna give you. But the question's not gonna be out of pocket, so that you won't be able to not answer it with the stuff that I gave you prior.
Okay.
And you don't have to answer with the stuff I gave you prior, but if you want to, you can. That good?
Yeah.
Okay. Before I get started, I want to go over these latest updates that was happening like prior to us getting on today. So DJT's stock price went under $20 for the first time since it launched.
I shorted that stock too, and I pulled off my short. I should have rolled my position.
Okay.
I was mad. I was pissed.
Super PAC has been founded, the Democracy Defenders, specifically for the purpose of election denying after the election is over with. So they're already preparing to gear up for legal battles with the Republicans, and they're putting a ton of money in the Super PAC to be able to battle this and not be caught off guard by whatever the conservatives come up with for excuses. Before we actually got on recording, me and Dante was talking about this already with the Kroger exec admitting that they jacked up the prices on milk and eggs after the pandemic in one of the antitrust trials. The FTC.
That's right.
Berkshire,
They have started those trials.
yeah. Berkshire Hathaway became the 8th U.S. company with $1 trillion valuation. And private equity, one of the private equity firms, I want to say I can't even remember, I should have wrote that down. Anyway, they've got about $2.6 trillion worth of investment money for venture capital, which we all know is not going to go to
Us.
many of us.
Opportunity zone?
Just like Opportunity Zone. So I just want to catch everybody up. All right, so we got the rules today with the information that you got. We're going to have new questions. So with all of the chaos around us, from $1 billion creator payouts to space drama, Dr. Pepper donuts. I'm gonna tell you, it's a good reason why I put that in today. How much of this is real, actual progress, and how much is just distraction designed to keep us from facing deeper issues? Are we evolving, or are we just finding new ways to stay entertained with real problems that persist?
I'm gonna have to go to Krispy Kreme before I answer that question, because
Okay, go ahead.
I gotta definitely try the Dr. Pepper donut. Just that's all principle.
So you are gonna try it. Okay,
I gotta
so
try
I don't know if I'm gonna try it.
Sensei
I
was.
don't think I'm gonna try it. I might. If you try it, I'll try it. You let me know you
Out of
going to get one.
principle,
I get
Dr.
one the
Pepper?
same day.
Because there was, all of us went through a phase where we thought we were sophisticated and we liked Dr. Pepper for 2 weeks, and then you just realized
I
it's
still like
nasty.
it.
I like that.
I still like it.
I still like it.
I still like it.
You know what
Bad.
though? I've just never found a liquor that goes well with Dr. Pepper.
Oh, okay. But you probably won't though. It's too
That's
sweet.
my point. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if you offset it straight up with like a moonshine, or do you offset it with like a spicy whiskey, and that sweetness of Dr. Pepper would take it down. You know what I'm saying? It'd
I don't
almost
know.
be like a
I
sweet and savory thing. But I got off of Dr. I don't drink a lot of soda. Last soda I had was a Poppy, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But
All I do now is ginger ale, but I do like the Dr. Pepper though if I get one.
shout out to the GS company that's on the way. But I agree with you. I think
For real.
I think it might be a distraction, fam. But if it's not a distraction, it's also how much are people really paying attention to? Because like we were previously talking about as we started this conversation, there's a premise that people will only discuss what's trending now, which I find to be depressing, right? So it takes small think takes like this where I think like even me and Dante will push each other to be like, yo, this is what's happening in the design world. This is what's happening in the car world. We'll send each other food spots. So you kind of have to push yourself to learn different things. I feel like media has become so compact and centralized, you don't learn a lot of this stuff no more, or it's just not in the premise of everyday conversation.
Right.
So to piggyback out for that, I really want, and they said this in a couple of reports that we was talking about it before we came on today, was TikTok. How TikTok in China shows, it supposedly, I don't have no proof, so let me preface with that. It supposedly shows them, work hard and things, the advanced life, X, Y, and Z. And on the American side, it shows a lot of, comedy, not serious topics, the same old influencer, whether they're clothed or unclothed, kind of stuff. And so, I honestly answer that question. I just really want to understand if that's what they're showing over there. Why are we not doing the same? Why is it not showing it equally around the thing? Of course, we need our daily dose of comedy and something to make it laugh, because there's a lot of, and I know we know it's the
algorithm. It's the algorithm. And that's what China wants to show their people too. They don't want, China censors a lot of information, so they don't want them to see a bunch of stuff.
Why aren't we doing, not necessarily us necessarily censoring our information, but why aren't we making that information more prominent? Instead, we got these platforms like QAnon that's pushing a negative propaganda. We got, Truth Social doing the same thing. We need a fact checker kind of thing, like just an unbiased fact checker thing that feeds us proper information. It's kind of like, go ahead.
Doesn't Elon Musk doesn't he want to be the head of some kind of government efficiency department for tech? I'm just being funny, but he does want to be the efficiency officer, but
I think if anybody was paying attention,
I don't know if we need a change in the algorithm. I just think we just need a change in the content. If there's more content like us, which I don't know if we would count as that, but if there's more content that is forward facing, like the Chinese content, that content would eventually gobble up the other content. But the problem is people love this stuff, man. It's kids right now watching TikTok, watching the gram, watching whatever they're doing with content creating, and they say, well, I'm gonna do a channel just like them. I'm gonna do a channel just like this. I'm gonna do a channel just like this. I'm gonna do 30-second content. I'm gonna do a 15-second. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody's thinking about doing anything else other than that. So the algorithm here is easy, right? They're gonna give them a whole bunch of stuff that's gonna distract everybody, And as long as the people are getting paid and the government don't fuck with the platform, everybody's happy, and they're gonna keep moving because that'll go into the another one of my questions. But it'll keep everybody distracted, right?
Well,
It'll keep everybody distracted at some point, at some level.
we was on a colleague's live the other day. Me and Mike was, and one of the points he made was sometimes you got to clean your feed. You got to unsubscribe or don't want to show this, and kind of like tailor the feed as if it's going to be edifying for you. You know,
Does it work?
To a degree.
To a degree, yeah. But for me, like during the time when I was renovating my house,
Yeah.
you know, that's what I was watching. A whole bunch of, you know, to-do stuff, kind of ideas
Right.
for decorating X, Y, and Z. And the other stuff I would skip over, but I tried to, you know, that's what was dominating my feed at that time.
Right.
So,
Well, you know, I get a whole bunch of. I get pro-black, pro-Trump. You know, I'm looking at all of that. So my feed is like clouded with a whole bunch of crap. But yeah, I think it's part distraction, and there's some evolution in it as well. But I think the evolution is only happening on the hardware side. I don't think anything's happening as far as what we're doing as content.
Software, tech, and content is stagnant as hell right now.
Yeah. So I think the just physical hardware, because they have to scale, I think that's the only thing that's moving, not anything else.
And that's just mainly servers.
That's basically servers, yep. And
Only-
improving how the edge
and
servers work.
Yeah, servers and chips are the only thing processed. Because like
Yeah.
we were working with some software yesterday, and we realized our platforms, our hardware wouldn't work with that software because of the chip. So I think that's going to be if you're talking about like that evolution, there's that supercomputing. A lot of people going to be stuck in a different place because they can't afford to update their hardware to the new chips.
That's the next that's the next frontier. That hardware. That's gonna you know how the internet level the playing field.
Mm-hmm.
The actual hardware is gonna separate it now.
Mm-hmm.
Because you ain't gonna be able to afford it. You're not gonna be able to afford it. It's not you either gonna know how to navigate around it, and how we like to use NRig, like NRig some stuff, but that's
Or you'll be
I
6 months.
don't.
You'll be 6 months to a year and a half behind, which is
behind. Yep,
5 or 10 years when it comes to money.
yep, absolutely. All right, moving along. Jack Smith's strategy of letting the legal process expose judicial flaws instead of taking direct action seems like a game of chess in a world addicted to checkers. Are we witnessing a masterclass in strategic patience, or is this just another example of how our justice system plays the long game at the expense of real accountability?
I think when you have someone that's willing to expose that we have a 2-tiered system and the flaws in it, everything stands for improvement, right? Every time we do this show, we can come back and say how we can improve. All right, we talking and we enjoy each other, but it's also because it's like homeboys getting together and we get to have a conversation. So in our mind, it's like, okay, we're gonna go 2 hours because we don't care. It's iron and sharpening iron. But for the sake of format, hey y'all, we got to knock this out in a certain amount of time.
It up.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's doing the same thing. Hey, I want to do this, but if I don't fix this problem now, who else is going to fix the problem? Right. So you're using an opportunity to fix a bigger problem. And I don't even think it's, this is like, as we say, they get into the 4D chess. And some people may be like, well, why would you throw people under the bus? There's at some point where you have to sacrifice the premise of a system and tear it down to build it back up the right way.
Exactly. Agree.
So real quick, I mean, I just think it's fucking genius at this point in time. Genius in the position that he playing the rules. He knows you have to deal with, as you said earlier in your thing about the 3-tier legislative system, the executive, the branches of the government, right? So he knows if he can take the judicial part out of it, find that loophole, he can get to him. So make him a private citizen. Do all the stuff. Yeah. Put it as him as a private citizen versus him as the president. Boom. He can't get immune from that. Because again, he's going at him as a private citizen. I think it's pretty, well, the way he reworked it, and they is scrambling right now. So
I think the best thing he did, as far as the DC case goes, besides the candidate Trump part, is taking Jeffrey Clark out of it, because that was the only thing that actually happened inside of the Oval Office, where they were physically talking about the strategy of what he could do as far as getting the election votes recertified, or however they were going to do it in the states with the mules and stuff, bringing the false electors in.
Right.
And also under the radar with all of this is him and the filing with Eileen Cannon. Instead of asking the 11th Circuit to recuse her, his filing made it where the 11th Circuit would have to end up making a decision on their own. He didn't even mention any of that. He just put it back on them, on her, as saying that she didn't understand the ruling fully. And what helped him was Hunter Biden's judge said, hell no, special counsel is legal. And I don't know what they're talking about over there, because of course Hunter was going to try it too, and he lost his motion to do that, so they're going forward with his trial. And it was a good thing that happened, because now Jack Smith can just say she just doesn't understand the law. You can leave her on there, I'm not telling you to take her off, but if she doesn't understand it, we need another judge basically to do it. And I thought that was a master stroke. We're seeing black excellence on the rise in politics, media, and culture, yet the learned behavior of self-cannibalization within the black culture still holds strong, whether it's both sides rhetoric or internalized bias. How do we break the cycle of tearing each other down and reclaim our narrative in a world that thrives on our division?
I want to start. Stop.
I know that was
no,
heavy.
I know. Mike gonna probably have stop allowing these quote unquote people, the Stephen A's, the Charlemagne's, the Cornel Wests of the world. Stop giving them the fucking platform. Just stop listening. We as a culture and we as a people can back away from that bullshit, because we always coming after ourselves. But I don't see y'all, when y'all have the golden opportunity to say that shit to people like Dante, say that shit to like the Bars of the world and the Rudy Giuliani's of the world. Y'all ain't saying it to them. Say it to them. They so I'm sorry, last time I checked, they put their pants leg on one at a time, just like me. And you.
And speak up with some damn bass in your voice. Don't be all
just like Bakari Sellers
submissive when you're talking.
It's like the Bakari went after Sellers today, the other day. What you call it? And Tia was just there being quiet. But Bakari's like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah. And
challenge them and come back with numbers and facts. So we do that. This whole thing with I don't understand. Motherfucker, you didn't ask Trump that. Stephen A. She needs to have an interview. She have an interview tomorrow on CNN. Hope you're recording the motherfucker on your DVR.
While you on that thought about the interview. So before we got on, I'm watching MSNBC. Mm-hmm. They got the guy from one of the think tanks, one of the black guys that runs the think tank in DC. The last question of the interview. This is coming from what's the girl that used to work in the White House that works on there now? Jen Psaki. Last question she asked guy was, do the voters even care about an interview? His answer was no. And they went straight into the commercial right after that. It wasn't even nothing else to say. Like, nobody cares about freaking interview. She's interviewing everywhere she goes. Every time she shakes a hand, that's an interview. Every time she answers a question from a random reporter from CBS, ABC, wherever the news outlet is, that is an interview. She's on a bus tour right now
in South Georgia.
In South Georgia. That says outside, the campaign is called the Outside of Atlanta bus ride or whatever it is. And she's talking to everybody. That's the interview. Follow her. Get your ass up out the studio and go follow her. But you got to have exclusive interview so that you can do gotcha questions or frame it how you want to, because you know she can't act like an ass on your network, because that's not the kind of ilk she comes from. But see, if you ask one of the three on this panel some wild shit, we might give you a wild answer.
All
You
day.
know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
But also,
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
One thing, and I was also, before we got on, I was watching CNN or MSNBC, and they said she actually let's stop talking about policy. Let's stop talking about it. Because the reason why, because they not listening no way.
No.
Stop talking about it. But keep going on, Mike. Go on.
I'll just say in general in life, we thrive off of negativity more than we do off of positivity. But we've also turned that into a culture bounding thing. And if you look at the structure of that, you can go from the initial hip hop we grew up off of. There was some gangster rap, but it was also balanced with positive rap. There was definitely some ratchet stuff, but it was also offset with love and compassion and feelings and emotion. We grew up, we remember when We Are the World had a national premiere on all three major networks. But then we went into a different phase, and now the phase that I feel we're stuck in, some people feel it to see it as weak to uplift others. You have more crime shows, we don't have sitcoms anymore. We don't have anything that shows a positive light, and more people just thrive off of that negativity, and we don't even have the same kind of level of collaboration. So when you transfer that over to something like VP Harris not doing an interview, people don't want to hear facts, because most of the time when you break down what people are trying to say and you apply it to their own life, it doesn't make sense. And as I told someone, collectively, by the blessings of our hard work and our mothers, fathers, and the support system we had, the tax benefits are doing us good right now. Right? But for a collective of what would be best for those that are around me, my cousins, my family members that may not have the best going on for them, and everybody else, certain things that might be best for me isn't going to be best for them. And to me, the particular characters we're talking about, I never understand why when certain people get to a certain level, they automatically feel they're conservative now. I will never understand that for me. The second thing is, I've always felt comfortable asking the most uncomfortable questions to those that have the most power, which is why a lot of people never liked me when it came down to doing business. My thing I wasn't going to go to the other person and be like, why is this going on? Who wrote this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't go to the person, and I'm giving a specific example without saying it, but I'm not going to go to the person that distribute the RFP. I want to talk to the lawyer that wrote the RFP. Why did you try to make this sound confusing? It's not her responsibility to explain it to me. It's my responsibility to call you out on what you're doing. And that's what I think you were talking about. We call out the wrong people because it's like, do you really want to answer, or are you just doing it for theatrics? When we had a problem in Miami, I didn't go at the people in Miami. I went to the mayor. Why are you doing this? I went to the mayor of Miami-Dade. You want to help people? This is the program you need to put together. But when you bring certain people solutions, you start realizing people don't want solutions. They thrive off the premise of havoc and fear.
Drama.
Yeah. So when you start stepping back from it, and it's like, oh, wait. These young black men aren't just talking about their problems. They're coming in with a business plan and a solution. So when everybody was talking, and I'm sorry I'm carrying this on, but when everybody was talking about mental wellness, we didn't just say, yeah, people are crazy. We went and said, hey, let's get $100,000 and let's give people free mental wellness. Let's give them free therapy sessions. Let's put together group therapy. There are people that are doers, but what I realized, people don't like doers. People like talkers because it's more entertaining. The work is not pretty. The work is not pretty at all. But when you start becoming effective, even when you're effective, you can only be so effective. Imagine parallel universe, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to talk about him because he does some things wrong, but he also has done some great things, especially when you think about Paid in Full. And I'm talking about that brother Dame Dash, right?
Okay.
Let's go into the Marvel Comics, parallel universe, right? Like a Lovecraft story. Aaliyah never gets into that plane crash. Okay?
Wow.
Right.
Let's start there. Aaliyah never gets into the plane crash and said you on point today because
videos.
Right. You in my dream space with your questions today. Aaliyah never gets into that crash. Dame Dash and Aaliyah remain in the relationship. Is Jay-Z the billionaire or is Dame Dash the billionaire? Does Beyonce ever make it with him?
Siegel still with him?
Right?
Go ahead, finish.
I'm just saying, does Beyonce jump over? Does Beyonce have the capacity to leapfrog Aaliyah if Aaliyah never passes?
Boy, that's big. That's big time right there now.
Right?
Seriously.
Now, imagine this, and I'm not saying Jay-Z has done a lot of things wrong, right? But now Aaliyah is that international superstar that Beyonce is. In the same way Jay got to ride on Beyonce's coattail to make it to Oprah and get accepted into other categories and other areas where he was a little too gangster and a little too hard. Imagine Beyonce softens that image of Dame Dash, and Dame Dash has just got that Dame Dash grit. He got that Harlem grit, and he's doing for the people. How does the music industry look right now?
Right. So, because when you paint a universe like that, now you talking about a lot of things.
You've altered media. You've altered the radio. You've altered music. Because
Nipsey Hussle might not be dead in that case.
Right? Missy Elliott doesn't go away. Timberland is on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Right? The music changes. The atmosphere changes. I'm not trying to be funny by saying this. This is not a shot at Beyonce. But the definition of beauty changes because now you got a slender black woman that's defining your beauty. Because remember, she was already in movies.
Yeah. And beloved, like you had some of the biggest action stars wanting to work with her.
And she hadn't even made it to a crossover because we hadn't reached crossover status at that point.
Right. Jet Li said he cried for weeks when she passed.
Come on now.
Weeks.
Right. So, and now I bring up the Aaliyah part because, as we all know, humbly speaking, a lot of things we do will come from a premise of a strong woman being in our life.
Yeah.
Dame Dash is different. Culture is changing. And Dame is doing all the things he wanted to do. Dame Dash will own Tubi right now. Dame Dash will probably be working with Ice Cube to build the big three. Me and Dante, we know some of the things Dame Dash wanted to do. Dame Dash had big dreams. He just had a mindset that he wanted to bring certain people with him. Yeah. Jay-Z had more of a capitalistic mindset where he bought a set amount of people. Dame wanted to bring the whole hood. But if Dame had the support of Aaliyah being the superstar that Beyonce is in a parallel universe, Dame would accomplish all those things. So, and if everybody, the nerds within us three, they understand where I'm going. But for the people that are watching this, what I'm saying is sometimes you got to realize the bigger picture that somebody's trying to paint, even when you can't understand it.
Exactly.
When you sit down, the whole point of why they put a bench in front of certain pieces of art is because you need to sit down and take in the whole piece because they already know where your eyes are going to go automatically. That's the aspect of a beauty of art.
Yeah.
But an understanding of art, the curator pays attention to the lighting, the surroundings, the echoes, the placement, the framing. Everything matters. Too many people.
Vision. Yeah.
Too many people just focus in, but they don't have that full vision to take in everything. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're missing right now. We're missing visionaries. We have a lot of opportunities. So like you said, Dante, there's too many things that Charlamagne feels comfortable saying, but you see them, the Stephen A's, they get around those people. Yeah, you know, I'm just, nah, we ain't got to worry about that. We ain't talking about that. The next
so
day, I don't understand why it's going this way. So now you yelling and screaming.
I'm gonna come from a different angle. It's the same. It's the same premise though, different angle. My angle is I'm coming from the coonery, the coonery part of this, and how we have always been subjected to some kind of form of entertainment to, from one of our earlier questions, to distract the masses. They don't even know that they're being used like pawns to be the distractions, right? So where I'm coming at now is,
or they know and they don't care because money means more to them.
It could be that. So I mentioned to y'all on a text that we had earlier about the Black Americana exhibit, and we basically focused in. One of the sections was stereotypes, Pickaninny, Sambo, all of the names that were being called, all the tropes. These cats in today's society would be the Sambo, the Pickaninnies, the chicks who were called sapphires because they had nice shapes and could roll you around. You know, what's that? Amber, what's her name?
Amber Rose.
The girl who did Amber Rose. She would be a sapphire. She'd be one of those kind of people that they will refer to because they fit every stereotype that the other culture tries to paint us with. I just don't like the fact that these guys and girls who get on, I don't give a shit about who you support. Right. I really don't. But if you're gonna support somebody, have some facts, come with some knowledge, talk like you got some goddamn sense, and don't talk to me like I just got off the boat and I don't even want to talk about people getting off the boat. But just don't talk to me like I just don't have any common sense in my head and just say, oh, this is what we're doing, this is where it's going. You're not talking to me, and we're speaking of VP Harris now. Mm-hmm. You're not speaking to me. You need to come talk to me directly. What makes you so special that they got to talk to you directly or give you the interview?
Right. Why are you the voice of reason for the people?
Yeah, and give you don't speak for Black culture. You don't. You speak for somebody's culture. It's just not my culture. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You might have your little, whoever follows you, speak to them. Don't make this shit about, oh, she needs to come talk to me. I'm a Black man in America. She needs to come talk to me. I'm a Black woman in America. She needs to come talk to me. Now, full disclosure for everybody that's watching this, it's a Black candidate. I'm going to vote for the Black candidate because they're liberal and we don't get this many opportunities. And I think I said this in the text. We haven't crossed I haven't crossed that road of when this turns around and it's a Black conservative that gets the same chance that VP Harris is getting or former President Obama got. But I'm going to vote for the Black candidate because we don't get opportunities like this. And we need to get enough opportunities where we can make a choice and say we want to vote for the best or for the most qualified. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It shouldn't have to be, I don't think she's qualified. Just because she's Black, you shouldn't be voting for her. I'm voting for her because she's Black and she's qualified. And even if she wasn't qualified, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to vote for her anyway right now because the other motherfucker is definitely not suited to be in office. So maybe she could learn on the job. I'm not saying, okay, and for everybody that's out there listening, I'm not saying that VP Harris is not qualified. She is.
Right. She's overly qualified.
Yeah, she's extremely qualified. She was more qualified than Obama. All right. She had more political experience than Hillary. Hillary is just married to the president for all those years. Mm. And she finally, got into the New York Senate or whatever. But she's probably the most qualified other than Joe Biden in the last 20 years. maybe Romney. You get what I'm saying? Romney was qualified to be a president.
Bush wasn't.
My thing, Bush was not. Bush was not. Bush was a failed businessman. He was, I don't know what. That's a whole nother
He was propped up
conversation
by
with
his
him.
daddy, yeah.
Yeah. But my whole point with this is, and this question is the fact that we have a pseudo black intelligentsia who they follow a couple of guys who are a part of the academic and intellectual community who happen to be in that black Americana trope. Oh, yes, sir, we're gonna do this, and they want to bring up all of these extraneous facts about, well, slavery always existed. Yeah, it always existed, but chattel slavery in this country is the only example of that kind of slavery ever to exist, right? Everybody else's slavery was based on, we own you, you do the work. This is the first brand of slavery where it was all based on race.
Yep.
Everything about this was based on race. But you following, and I get to the race part because it's okay. If you follow it, and it gets to we get to this part of the ending part. The beginning part of this is all based on the premise of the slavery and how it's all the same. And we go from slavery all the way through Jim Crow, all the way through the civil rights movement to now. And I just get tired of these black men and black women that get on TV. You can support who you want to support, but don't be lecturing me like I don't know what the fuck is going on. that's all. That's all.
But because you sent his image, and I've been waiting to say this. Stephen A. Smith would have never, if Stuart Scott was around.
No.
Put it like that. At all. Shit. Charlamagne the God might have not said shit if Dame was in the position that you just painted out. You know what I'm saying? These cats, man, these cats are out of control. Anyway, so the question that Dante has been waiting for, I know he's been waiting on this one. You gotta assemble your life track, bro. Life soundtrack. Jazz artist, who is it gonna be, and what would you title it?
Was it dead or alive?
It could be whatever you want. It don't even have to be the jazz artist. You can use another artist. I just wanted to use jazz because I thought jazz, with the improvisation and the pace and the music, I thought it was a good genre to use to do it. But go ahead.
Kind of conflicting. I have two.
Okay.
Top of mind is Barry White because I feel like my life deserves some strings. It needs some strings. I was watching a clip on Instagram. I had a good music. I was flipping through some good reels of music joints yesterday, and they showed how he was in the studio. Hey man, put them cellos in there, and he started singing and do 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 do, and then the cellos came, and then the other person is George Duke. So if I can get,
how did I know you was gonna say George Duke? I knew you was gonna say George Duke.
Of George Duke, the funk from George Duke, and the love from Barry White, with some sprinkles of some Prince guitar and some George Benson guitar.
Okay, look now. We're talking about who's gonna be arranging the album, not everybody that's gonna appear as a feature.
Arrangers.
Yeah.
It's like I got a Duke and White. That's who's gonna be doing it. Like Gamble and Huff is a Duke and White.
So we can do at least two people. We capping it out at two people.
I only got one, but you can use two. Yeah, I only got one.
Duke and White, baby.
I got one for the arranging. But it's gonna be a bunch of people that show up. Yeah. It's gonna be a bunch of people showing up.
If I'm arranging, I'm going with Davis and Coltrane.
Okay.
I want that attitude. I want that attitude of Miles Davis. I want the attitude of Miles Davis, but I want that structural classic element of Coltrane.
Okay,
that's solid.
So I don't want to use that because you already used it now. So I had a backup Billie Holiday. Okay. Okay, and you already know Billie Holiday was raw. She was uncut.
I was about to say, you about to have everybody crying and in their emotions.
I mean, so it's unfiltered, and I think today's society is kind of unfiltered. Well, not kind of, a lot unfiltered. And she also sang about a lot of resilience. And she had one of the most famous anthems of the day that was basically singing to that a part of society about that particular time in space. I mean, in space, when she came out with Strange Fruit, and famously put on the radio and then taken off the radio, and she wasn't able to sing it in certain places because the white people couldn't take the fact that she was talking about slavery and lynching and getting hung in trees. She couldn't deal with all of that. So I even came up with a title too.
Do you have an album cover too as well? You have album cover?
No, I don't have an album cover. I have one the next time. See, you're going to be smart. Melodies of the Unheard. Because we have so many disenfranchised voices right now, which I think is a good thing that the Democrats are out on the road on these bus trips and in these other places, and going out and meeting these people where they are. This Mike said it in a couple of shows earlier about just getting to the ground roots and just meeting people and talking to people, and that's the new model now. Like the new model is, hey, I'm right here. Let's talk. That's why I say that the interview thing, and that's some old shit. But
I would go back and steal a name I gave somebody.
Okay.
Socially Loud.
That's the name. That's the name of the album.
That would be the name of the album.
How about yours, Dante? You got a name?
No.
You got a lot of love and sex shit going on in your album. I don't know what your name gonna be.
Right now, it'd be like the untitled. It'll be untitled like the D'Angelo track right now. It'll be untitled.
So I hit all my town drunks this week. I'm gonna do. I encourage all of y'all to do town drunks off script. Like seriously. Go ahead.
Hold on. I want to make sure I get these fuckers' name right.
Okay.
My boy. Research.
The National Federation of Republic Assemblies. Y'all dumb motherfuckers. Y'all the town drunk. For me, that's number one town
drunk.
The National Federation of Republican Assemblies.
What do they do?
This is the people that brought the Dred Scott decision talking about it's possible that what you call it. But guess what? Y'all also make your dumb ass Republican one not one too. Because both of his parents are goddamn immigrants. You dumb motherfuckers.
But the same group did Ramaswamy like that. They did Ramaswamy and Haley. Nikki Haley, yeah. That was crazy. I thought that was kind of crazy.
But you gotta put down
it's
on
not
that.
It's not gonna stand.
Because you gotta put down on that same damn ticket.
I mean, if you read the amendment, 14th Amendment, it's not gonna stand anyway.
We know that.
Yeah, I forgot that's what the group's name was.
That's what we call him. And then the other one is Ron the Sanctimonious.
What did he do now?
So Ron planted and went and endorsed 26 people for school board positions around the state of Florida.
Oh, they
only six of them won, and the other 6 are in runoffs, which they're most likely going to lose. And a lot of these candidates who were running were also backed by the Moms for Liberty people, them dumb chicks. I'm not gonna call them out their name. Them dumb chicks. So he only had 6 plants that kind of got past the finish line. The other 6 that are currently in runoffs are destined to lose.
So he's about as bad as Trump endorsing people now. Then
he is.
That's a big percentage.
That's been on my news feed because I have on my Edge. I have a news feed that does business, politics, and like cars or something like that, right? But they say, oh, he's losing his juice now. Of course he's losing his juice. He got nothing else to do. And then my last one is Rick Scott.
Oh, you got a bunch.
Oh yeah, no, we gotta. I'm gonna get all this out. Rick Scott
Yeah.
and the rest of these Republicans trying to turn national parks into fucking golf courses. The fuck you trying to do?
Wait a minute.
Oh, was
Can
that
they
the
do
thing
that?
for Save Our Parks? Is that what they were
Yes.
talking about?
So I gotta get full reason, but they was trying to add like golf courses and all this other attraction to national fucking parks. You don't change. You done already cut them down for townhouses. Now you want to put golf courses on these motherfuckers?
I didn't know they could do that. Can they do that? I guess as long as they got vote power, they probably can.
I was about to say, all you need is super majority, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't talk to a couple people who they say they don't want like they get, but the funny thing is other Republicans are firing back at them like, no, we don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my
What y'all listening to?
Oh, Mike got the town drunk.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't know. You know, Mike usually have to pass on the town drunk.
My town drunk has been political pundits on social media platforms that can just pull piecemeal data, but don't understand correlation without causation. I'm
No context, huh?
Yeah, I'm tired of you saying that, and I'm gonna simplify for everybody. Let me hold on. Please don't talk about what VP Harris, and let me be clear, VP Kamala Harris, like Oxford, Oxford, okay? But don't talk to me about what Vice President Kamala Harris hasn't done if you can't tell me a single thing Mike Pence, Dick Cheney did in their position. I'm tired of hearing it. All I'm
That's
gonna
fair.
say,
That's seriously fair.
the end of my debates, the beginning of my debates and the end of my debates are always going to start. If you keep saying she's in office and she didn't fix it, she's in office and she hasn't done it, you have to tell me at least two things that Mike Pence did when he was in office. If you can't, I know you do not know politics, and I refuse to engage at this point.
Vice presidents are second. They back the president. They don't have any. Really?
There.
And then what makes it worse is when you the town drunk and you say to me, well, Mike Pence didn't do nothing. That's the point. He couldn't.
He's the vice
He was the vice
president.
president. Well, Mike Pence didn't do nothing.
Listen.
And then
I
on the ad,
I don't want to make it long. Go ahead.
From says
Go ahead.
town drunk. I'm gonna pull my mic close. We have
Who's my town drunk?
We know we have a divisive Congress as well. So
Oh my God.
you can't pass.
Oh my God.
You can't pass shit when you got people that's
If you don't have a majority, it don't even have to be a super majority. If you don't have a voting majority, and you don't have a Congress that is willing to be bipartisan, there is nothing a sitting president or vice president can do.
Obama had
Other
the
than
worst.
executive order, and executive order is usually kind of like taboo because they don't want to just seem like we forcing everything and jamming everything down everybody's throat. Before we go, Supreme Court rejected Biden's latest push to extend the SAFE Act, whatever it is for student loans. They just rejected that. So I guess they're gonna have to do some other stuff to get that going. I'm assuming.
I hope the Republicans are happy now because nothing else is given out for free. So I guess this is what they wanted.
It's crazy. I'm listening to Stakes is High as soon as we get off because I was listening to it when Dante came on. De La Soul. What you listen to, Dante?
Janet Jackson.
Oh Lord, what you got an unhealthy obsession with Janet Jackson?
No,
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
No,
I don't blame you.
That,
but
like, no. So I started a playlist off of Funny How Time Flies, and literally, it's Funny How Time Flies, Making Love in the Rain.
Do you have Nina's playlist, Lavia? You mean?
I still have the MP3 file. Yes, I do.
Yeah, please share that because I can't find my copy.
No problem. I will put it somewhere. But yeah, I literally first 10 songs I can't get past because I replay them. It plays in the car. Boom. It gives me life. You want your food to taste good? You want your design to come out good? Just let me listen to Janet Jackson for a minute.
Mike, what you listen to, man?
I was just last night I was working out to Neo. A lot of people slept on this album, Neo Year of the Gentleman, the extended version.
That's the one where he had what's the name of the song?
A song that was dedicated to Michelle Obama, and he had Misty performing on it.
Yeah.
The
name of that song, I can't remember the name.
It was that album though, but
okay.
I just like the storytelling he put into that. It just reminds me of how old albums used to be, because the whole thing started off with meeting this woman, Integrity, getting into the relationship, falling in love, cheating on her, realizing he messed up and lost the love of his life. I just like the fact that storytelling he went through reminded me of the structure albums used to have versus a whole bunch of singles thrown into an album.
Thrown together, yeah.
So I just missed that.
All right, fellas. Just let everybody know that we do talk about shit other than relationships and sex and the rest of that bullshit that's going on.
Praise them
in this. Oh my gosh. So we'll just I'll catch up with y'all next time.
It's football season.
It is football season.
But, real quick, have you noticed the football chatter is very low?
Yeah, because this political shit is dominating. It's dominating the cycles, bro.
I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, finally, football gonna save us." It was there for like 2.5 hours. I was like, "What's going on?"
Don't nobody have like a real breakout type of performance on this weekend coming up because everybody playing.
Wait, we on TV tomorrow, right? We watching the Colorado game tomorrow. Right?
Yeah. So that's actually been dominating the news cycle before we go. Is the Dion not talking to the CBS guy, whatever?
Yeah, and Paul Feinbaum too. It's like 3 things going on with them.
Fuck Paul Feinbaum.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I'm not a Feinbaum. I'm not a fan of his anyway.
What's wrong? Dion won't do interviews or something?
No,
I'm not a big Dion fan either.
The local CBS guy is doing personal
I'm not going to support Feinbaum. I'm not going to support anybody that's attacking Dion. That all they do is lap up behind all these other coaches and give them passes. I'm not doing that shit. Fuck that.
So what's the premise of success? This we can end it out here. What's the premise of success for him this year? 6 wins, a winning season?
Dion?
Yeah,
you got to do at least 9.
No, success for Dion. To be honest with you, no, not even a number of games. Well, it is a number of games. He just needs to be bowl eligible. If he can get bowl eligible, I think that's success for him because he's not going to compete for a national championship 6 games. So he's not competing for a national championship. But if he can get to a bowl game, that's a big step up because they haven't been to a bowl game in I think like 5 years, 6 years. It's been a while since they've been to a bowl game. So
it's been that soon.
I
thought the Buffs were out for like 12 years from a bowl game.
I don't know. It could be double-digit years. I haven't really looked at what's been going on. I just know the year, what he did last year, just to improve the profile was good. Was great for the gate receipts and the hometown. Now, if he can just get to a bowl game, that's even better because now he can say he took a program that was floundering and now we bowl eligible. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
And
they made it in 2020 and they got beat by Texas.
It's 2020.
They got beat by Texas 55-23.
God damn. So they should say
But,
oh my God.
But he can't sleep on his first opponent.
I mean, he's in the Big 12 this year, right?
Yeah, but
in the Big 12.
Yeah, in the Big 12.
So if he can get in a bowl situation in the Big 12, that is a successful season.
Yeah, but he can't sleep on his first opponent. He played North Dakota State.
It don't matter. He just got to just do 6 games. It don't matter how you win them. Just win 6 games. You bowl eligible. Who doesn't want Dion? Regardless of how I feel about him, who don't want Dion in the bowl, right? So
yeah, it's gonna do great.
He's gonna win the bowl. Yeah, he got that's. I mean, it's about the money.
So basically,
it's-
they were making a bowl game like every 4 years.
Yeah,
So
that's
it was like
before.
2016 and then
Well, that's
2024.
Yeah, that's after the basically after.
The 2004 area when they won the Houston Bowl. That was the last one they won.
Yeah, that's a few years. That's a few years into Cordell Stewart time.
Yeah, so
after his time.
if they make it and win, he'll break a 20-year drought.
Oh yeah, so he'll be like a folk hero around that bit.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right.
For sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Anything else, Dante? You good? Appreciate it. 54 minutes and 11 seconds.
Own it. I like this one.